With the Samsung Galaxy S20 series, the company is going big, this time on the camera. The Galaxy S20 Plus comes with a 64MP quad camera at the back, the promise of up to 30x zoom, and even 8K video recording. But does it really deliver on all these promises? And is this the flagship for 2020? Let's find out in our review.
Press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update.
So let's start with the camera, of course, because this is the USP of the phone. Now, this doesn't come with the 108MP camera that you get on the Ultra, but the 64MP camera does not disappoint. And I can't help but feel that Samsung has launched it just at the opportune time. Because in Delhi, spring is in full bloom and you're going to get some stunning shots with the Galaxy S20 Plus camera. Photos taken with the Samsung Galaxy S20 Plus are sharp and vibrant. The colors a little too sharp at times, but they do look great and the pictures pack in a lot of details. Now there's also a 64MP mode, which you can actually use to get a lot more details in your shot, and it does make a difference compared to the standard 16MP shot. But let's really talk about the zoom feature, since that is what Samsung is touting. Now my favorite was actually the 4x zoom. One advantage with this is that you don't have to get too close and the shot packs in enough details and looks good and vibrant as well. With the 10x zoom, you will need slightly more steady hands, but it does again manage to get a lot of details, even if it doesn't always look so great in the viewfinder. For instance, I was able to zoom in on the walls of a fort and the shot had enough details with 10x zoom, and no, I don't really have some steady hands. Another feature that really impressed me on the camera was live focus, or what's known on other phones as portrait mode. Now, I've typically felt that Samsung phones need to kind of improve their live focus because it always struggled with smaller objects, like say with flowers, or if you were trying to take a small object such as, a toy or something like that. But this time around with the Galaxy S20 Plus, the live focus actually works very well. You can even change the background effect after you've taken the photo, and it does manage to keep the object in sharp focus. Moving on to the night mode of the Galaxy S20 Plus, I'd say Samsung has done a pretty good job with this part of the phone as well. The night mode will manage to brighten any scene that's out there, even if there's no light in the room. So you will need some sort of light in order to get some kind of details in the shot. It actually does manage to keep noise to a bare minimum, and the scene does look a bit unnatural because it's so bright and even you can't see it as bright. But hey, at least the photo and the object are clearly visible to you. But it's not all perfect. Now there are some issues. For one, I did have some problems with the focus latching on to some objects at certain times. I think Samsung will have to in fact push out an update to fix this. I should point out that an update has actually come for the Galaxy S20 Plus review unit that we have, but I've not had a chance to install that update and actually test out what has changed for the camera. The update does mention that this does bring some improvements for the camera, though it doesn't specify what. Another thing, I would say that the 20x zoom and 30x zoom requires you actually to carry a tripod maybe, and the results aren't always so great, especially if you're just relying on your hands. And in low light, the 20x and 30x zoom are just very gimmicky features and don't really deliver the kind of results that you'd expect. Another feature that I didn't really enjoy was the selfie camera on the S20 Plus. Now, it appears as though some kind of harsh filter has been applied to your selfies, where it's aggressively smoothing your skin, and you don't just want that all the time. I would have preferred if the selfies were a bit natural. Even though I turn the beauty mode off at times, the selfies just don't look so great. I'm hoping that the update that Samsung has sent will actually fix this issue. Another feature I want to point out from Samsung on the S20 series is the single take feature. Now, I actually thought it was a bit gimmicky, but it is quite useful. What it does is that you take a 10-second video and it converts it into a mini album of sorts, taking the best shot out of it, taking some photos with a filter, and it's kind of useful if you're capturing some moments, say someone cutting a birthday cake or something special like that. And finally, I want to mention the 8K video recording because this is another USP on the Galaxy S20 series. The only problem is that you can't really view that 8K content at actual 8K resolution unless, of course, you have a Samsung TV which supports that. And we know those aren't cheap. So this was our camera review for the Samsung Galaxy S20 Plus. Regarding the performance, display and other factors, we're going to be back in our studio. So the Galaxy S20 Plus comes with a 6.7-inch Quad HD Super AMOLED display, and you can crank up the refresh rate on this to 120Hz. So the standard is at 60Hz. Now this is of course a very vibrant display, one of the best that you're going to get in the market, and great if you're consuming content. I did feel at times it was a bit too reflective, especially when I was using it under the sun, and it made it a little hard for me to see what kind of picture I was taking, but that was when the sun was really bright. The display on the Galaxy S20 is slightly curved at the edges, and one big change is this time also the display's punch hole camera is placed bang in the center and not at the side. I guess we can say goodbye to all those funny wallpapers that we had with the S10 series last time. My preference is not towards phones which are 6 inches plus, but the S20 Plus is actually surprisingly light and easy to use with one hand, and that did leave me surprised. It feels less chunky than my iPhone XS. In India, the phone is powered by the Exynos 990 processor. No, Samsung didn't give us the Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 version as was being rumored. It comes with 8GB RAM and 128GB storage. And yes, this is a flagship phone, so you don't expect performance to be an issue, and there really were no issues as such. Be it gaming on Asphalt 9 or Nova Legacy or switching between apps, the phone performs all tasks smoothly, and you can actually notice the difference with the 120Hz when you're scrolling, say on Facebook or Twitter, and it's much faster and smoother. What impressed me the most was the battery life on the Samsung Galaxy S20 Plus. Now remember, I used it most of the time with the 60Hz refresh rate, which is also supposed to be better for your battery life. I got easily a day's worth of battery, even with heavy-duty usage, which involved a lot of Netflix, Spotify constantly being on, switching between apps. So yeah, the battery is not a problem on this at all. The other plus point is that the inbox charger will get this to around 100% in just under an hour, and that's very, very important. The Samsung Galaxy S20 Plus is no doubt an excellent flagship. It's got good performance, a very premium design. I would have liked to try out the pink version, but we got the grey, which is a little bit more boring. Still, the camera is worth the price, though some issues definitely need fixing. The selfie camera though definitely needs a lot of improvement. Now it's 73,999. This is an excellent upgrade if say you're on the older S7, S8 or even the S9 series. Unless of course you want to wait for the S20 Plus Ultra, which has a 108MP camera at the back.